We are the Graça family, originally from Sintonto, Cape Verde Islands. My mom is from Cruzeiro, my dad is from Formiguinhas. And today we're cooking cachupa, which is like one of the dishes that just reminds you of home. And today we're gonna cook the traditional way and enjoy.
Start with garlic is to put the flavor, hot pepper, bay leaves, crevin.
Crevin. Cachupa was like kind of like a principal dish. It was like a main dish that you could eat every day. So you prepare it, it'd be heavy, and that's when you eat it at night. The soup version is the kind that you eat at night, keep you full, keep you sleeping, like equivalent to a baby. You know, you fill them up and you hope that they nap forever. And then in the morning you fry it and you have for breakfast instead of having like your bread and cheese or cereal. Like you eat that, and so it's kind
And
of.
you
like,
are not hungry for.
And when I tell you, growing up, we grew up on the street. Besides when we came to the United States, we used to live up the street. And it was like, it's Saturday, she's starting the cachupa. Like we already knew, you could smell it. So the smell that you're smelling now, I could be upstairs and I'm like, oh God, there's gonna be cachupa. Okay, 6 hours. I'm really not gonna try to eat anything right now. I'm going to save myself in preparation for all the bowls of cachupa we're gonna eat. So I think that's what I love about it. It just allows you this, like, it's such a versatile meal. And anyone can enjoy it because you can say it's almost like a bean stew. And people are like, oh, I can eat beans. I'm like, no, I'm going to blow your mind with this one. But sure, yeah, you can eat beans.
Esse é feijão vermelho.
So these are red beans. You should put corn in there. It's usually whatever bean you have in the house. It's just, again, what you have. So some people might put squash in it. Some people might not even put beans. Might use like yuca or mandioca.
Yeah.
In it. So it's what you have. It's what you have. And I think that's like the beauty of the cachupa because it's like one of those things where like, all right, we only got one bean. It's cachupa though.
A Janete, quando esteve bem, dizer, grama, eu tenho que fazer cachupa. Ou canja.
Yeah, so I have 3 nephews. 2 of them live in New Jersey. 1 of them lives here. And it's like one of those, you get requests. So when I lived out of state, my other brother lives out of state, you can request something from my mom. Cachupa isn't my number 1 request. It's not, because I know it's always available. But my nephews, they will call and say, Grandma, please, we just want some cachupa when we get home. And so that's the thing. So she'll bring cachupa to them in New Jersey in like a Whole Foods bag of frozen cachupas so they can last until they come back and re-up and go back to Jersey. So it's one of those, I don't know, it keeps you so connected. Our furthest family, like my sibling, lives in New Jersey, and so it's almost like a nice little line that connects them from like Rhode Island to New Jersey and back.
Esse é couve, enquanto que a cachupa de cozinhar, vou tratar tudo esse couve. Se for gostar, vou pôr cortado ou vou pôr inteiro.
So as the cachupa cooks, you prepare the collards. You can either chop them up or leave them whole leaves. If you're asking me, I like it whole leaf. And then you place it on the top when it's done, and it kind of like just cooks with the heat of the dish. I think for me, it's the smell. Like this smell is very particular. You can probably smell it outside if you were outside. And it like
it's cachupa.
You know it's cachupa. It permeates the whole house. And so I could be in another floor. Even as a kid, we lived on the same floor, but I could be in bed and just, okay, she's making cachupa. That means it's cleaning time. And it's time for me to get up to prepare and help. So whether that's getting dishes ready, but it was one of those things that you knew and you like were, for me, I was like antsy waiting for it to finish so that we can enjoy it as a family. So I think as the other version of it, the breakfast version of it, I eat it differently. I like it like really dry. None of my rest of my family really fried. Like I like a little bit on the dry side, but I think that's the thing I like to do, right? So my mom cooks it, but I'm the one who wakes up in the morning and I'll prepare the breakfast version because it has little pieces and it's almost like my way of contributing to like our generation, our understanding of our food because it's the easiest way to do it, but it's the most enjoyable way for me.
E também se me tem grupo de pessoas, vem tomar brunch, pequeno almoço, cachupa tem que estar.
Yeah, so she has friends coming over for brunch, it's cachupa. She's like, that one has to be like a signature dish because everyone can enjoy it. It's funny because like right now I could go to one of my friends' house like, So your mom's cooking cachupa? You didn't bring me any? I'm like, I could change my whole outfit, and they're like, I can smell the cachupa on you. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll bring it back. It's not ready yet. They're like, okay, just as long as you bring some back home.
Not pôr intercar no cortel, not pôr um osso para dar sabor, not pôr as tocinho beijo que não usa na Cabo Verde. Esse é carne de porco salgado. So the pot is this is beef.
Beef?
Sim.
Like a brisket?
Yeah. See you want. See, what do you have in the house?
So there's pork in there.
Most is
and aged pork. Traditionally, the women were in the house and the men would go out of the house. She said maybe her little brother would help clean, but she would never go outside of the house. And so, like she said, at the age of 10, she learned like how many pieces a piece of chicken, like a whole chicken makes. So learning how to cut it properly. There's like this really fine line between like wanting to appreciate my culture and recognize for what it is, and like the idea of like gender roles and like trying to like combat that, but also like honoring where I come from and recognizing like this is part of who I am. And so she'll cook it for an hour. She put it under the pressure cooker to, speed up the process. But normally this takes about 5 to 6 hours depending on it. So it's kind of one of those like you set it and you semi forget it. You don't go too far. But it's a slow cook. And I think that's why it has so much impact in our culture, because it reminds you of like the purpose of community, that we gather, that we're patient, and that we spend time with each other. I will say, when I went to Cape and I had cachupa, it was better. It was better.
Yeah.
This one's good. This one's good. It sounds like growing up, it was a lot longer process. Where it's like here, I open up this can of meat and I soak it for 24 hours.
No.
And cachupa. No, I'm kidding. It's really not that fast. But whereas like
a lot of work. Yeah.
You all put a lot more labor into it. So I guess that's a way in which it's changed, right? Technology and the way, there's no leña here. There's no wood here. There's literally gas. And so that's more helpful, right? Prepares you have a pressure cooker, which helps speed up the process, right? And you're not literally physically going to pick all of the pieces. In America, right? I can go right now. What do you want? Y'all want a piece of steak? Like, I can go to a restaurant and go get it in the next 20 minutes. You want fast food? Like, you could access those things where it's like you literally had to take care.
Chicken, galinha, but criel. Not in
I know, but that's such a great way to put it. She's like, if you wanted chicken, you would raise it first. I wonder, like, what comes to your mind when you eat cachupa? Like, what do you remember?
Yeah, I go back home. I just travel.
So this is what it looks like when it's 5 hours in. Has sat for a little bit, so you can eat it in this in this very soupy fashion, which is my second favorite way to eat it. But my absolute number one favorite way is the next morning. You dry it in a colander like this. You soak it, all the juice out, and then you refry it with some chorizo, and you just enjoy it as breakfast, lunch, or dinner. She makes a vegetarian version for me, but in like some of the research I was doing, is like the original cachupa is without meat, because meat is like almost like a delicacy. It's like for a good event.
Yes.
For when you are gathering, and almost like it's called hika, so rich. And so the traditional one really just has vegetables. Yeah. And so she goes back old school for me, which is great. Which is great. Cape Verde is a place where, if you think about like the triangle trade, right, and like enslavement and how like Africans were brought to Cape Verde, and that brought like the bean, right, and it brought certain staples, and then you have like the Portuguese, my mom says like the French, right, and
that mix all.
They bring their own like understanding of food, and like it's almost like a mix of that. A lot of I was reading up on cachupa. It's so interesting, like to think about like reading up on something that you eat all the time. To think about like even like the way it's pronounced, right? Some people say cachupa.
Manchupa.
Some people say manchupa. Some people say cachu. I think that's that like fingerprint, right? And recognizing that like Cape Verde is like such an interesting place because of all the influences of like enslavement, right? And like the reality that like persons were taken from their home and placed into this, and even through like what you were saying earlier, even through all of that, still created home, right? And took pieces and said like, this is what we'll create, and we'll create cachupa among other dishes. But I think it's one of those dishes that reminds you that like I can still create love out of like the smallest thing.
I'm going to uncover this. We have to be careful because it's hot. I just move side.
My grandmother, her mom, said that you always make food for more than for an extra 2 people, just in case there's somebody walking by who wants to enjoy a meal with you. Prepare for people. I think there's just this like, it's almost like to me like an honoring, right? You're saying like, I want you to come into my house. Like when I go visit somebody, if it's the first time I've ever been in your house, I have to bring something. It doesn't even like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna take this apple with me to show you that I'm very gracious for you to allow me to enter your home. It's almost like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a blessing, right? To say like, thank you for opening your home. Like home is so important to people, right? And so like I see that importance and I want to offer you my gift. Right at the end, I guess it's like her little trick. She just fries the onion and puts it at the end when the cachupa's done, just to give it a little sensation, a little flavor of the onion.
Some people, they don't like cilantro, they can use different thing, but I love it. So
I'm like, the kitchen has a secret hand.
Yeah.
So it's almost like every house has a secret hand. Like there's something in our cachupa that you're not gonna know. My mom like she may have tossed it in without you noticing. It's really cool, like the secret of the hand. At the end of the day, it's a way to like show love and care, and I think food does that.
Communicate.
It does that in a way. It's like really hard to describe. It's like love on a plate.